Joining us live in Los Angeles to talk more about how to curb violence against women, Tess Cacciatore with the international nonprofit Global Women's Empowerment Network. Thanks so much for joining us. You just heard Michelle's report from Colombia. They say it's a pandemic there. We heard these other reports, these women held captive in London, Cleveland. I guess these stories tend to percolate up, but I mean, are we seeing much headway in terms of dealing with this issue?
The facts that are out there right now, Mike, are staggering, and I do believe there are changes that are going on. With Global Women's Empowerment Network, we're about educating and activating and getting people engaged in what's going on in their communities and being empowered in their normal everyday lives. And what's going on around the world is really important. There is a pandemic going on, but I believe with the FBI stings, the women that are being released in sex trafficking and human trafficking, there's a lot of changes that are happening.
You know, you were talking about activating, educating. I was struck by one of the statistics we just read. The cost of intimate partner violence in the U.S. alone, nearly $6 billion a year. Is the government spending enough money on the education piece of things when you consider that much money being spent on the enforcement side?
I believe there should be more money given to the education side. That's why it's important for organizations such as Gwen to be able to inspire and get people activated. Also, what's happening right now on November 25th is a very important day. Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has dedicated this to be Orange Day, where everyone can wear orange. So I think that's a global movement that everyone can take part in, and it gives the ability to unite to end violence against women.
How does a day change things?
Pardon me?
How does a day change things? I mean, it's one specific day. Does it call enough attention to it? I mean, should it be more than a day?
I think it should be every day. I think that a day is a start. I think one person is a start. I believe that everyone uniting and bringing into the statistics and taking empowerment within their lives is a very important situation to go on with. We have certain programs that we're doing, so hopefully we'll be able to make a global movement. We're doing a documentary and feature film out of Nigeria and opening up our first international chapter there, and that will be replicated throughout the world. We also have a Gwen alert on our phone. It's a smartphone app to be able to create a safety feature where you can locate or notify 5 of your family friends if you're in trouble. And it's an app that's working globally now as well.
You know, you brought up Nigeria, and you're talking to a global audience here. One of the things that strikes me is the Arab Spring. We saw women in such pivotal leadership roles, and yet once the revolution was over, the women were left in the background again in Tunisia and Egypt. How do women take some of that resolve that they have and actually use it to build upon to get, you know, kind of the changes they'd like to see?
I think movements like that and what they were doing is so inspiring. I feel that it is a stand, it's a voice, it's a statement. It's shows like this that is allowing us to be able to speak about it and get it out to the international audience. So for people that don't even know that was happening this week, and to be able to join forces. International Women's Day is March 8th, and there's all kinds of events, you know, in March 2014 that we can take part on and start planning right now. As I said, it's an everyday occurrence. It's an everyday, the statistics are staggering. It's an everyday chance and opportunity for people to take action and make a difference.
I know you have your own personal story of abuse. I don't know how much of that you want to go into, but how did that prompt you into action, and can that be pivotal in getting other women who may be out in this kind of a situation right now, who may be listening, to get out of a bad situation?
Absolutely. I did have, on several occasions, different types of abuse. I noticed that your previous guest was talking about the emotional, the verbal, the physical. There's all types of abuses that I believe that men, women, and children are taking part in and being victims of. One thing about Global Women's Empowerment Network, we can't do Gwen without the men. It's very important that we talk about the men's issues and the children's issues of abuse. My own personal story, I believe, is just a way for us to be able to, or for me to be able to tell my story so other people can have courage to come forward and tell their own, because I think through sharing a story we begin the process of healing.
Well, Tess Cacciatore, thank you so much for joining us from Los Angeles. Certainly appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.